They never told you there is another account in your name waiting quietly inside the Social Security system. Hidden in plain sight, it has your history, your spouse's work record, and the difference between surviving and thriving already written inside. Most widows never see it because no one ever shows them where to look. This is not a myth or a trick. It is the most misunderstood part of Social Security in 2026. The personal record file that the government builds for every worker and the survivor tied to them. Opened and managed the right way, it can unlock thousands of dollars that many families never claim. Today, you are going to learn exactly how it works, how to access it, and how to make sure your household collects every credit it earned. Think of this as the missing chapter in every video you have ever watched about survivor benefits. It explains not only why some widows get higher payments, but how those payments were hidden inside their records all along. To get there, we begin with the story behind the system. When Social Security started in the 1930s, every worker's file was a paper folder locked inside a cabinet. Over time, those records became digital. By law, each one includes tax contributions, earnings years, benefit estimations, and hidden fields the public almost never sees, called delayed credits and wage adjustments. When your spouse passes away, that record splits into two active accounts. One remains under their number 4 audit, and one opens silently under yours as the surviving spouse. Now here comes the astonishing part few people know. The survivor file can carry unclaimed increases that were never issued because your spouse delayed retirement, worked extra quarters, or had unprocessed cost of living credits. If you never open your own My Social Security account and check the underlying record, those credits can stay frozen for years. The agency issues payments only after you claim them. That means the key to the hidden account is not inside their office, it is in your login. Start by visiting ssa.gov and selecting My Social Security. Creating the account takes 10 minutes with a driver's license or ID. Once inside, click View Earnings Record. You will see 2 columns your own and a secondary record showing anything tied to your spouse's number. Scroll down to the section called Lifetime Earnings. If you notice gaps or totals that do not match work history, flag them. Those may be missing wages or delayed credits. Contact the local office with that list when you apply for survivor benefits. Why does this matter? Because each corrected year can raise your monthly check. Imagine your spouse earned $40,000 in 1995, but only $32,000 was reported. Modern software adjusts that difference using inflation factors, often adding $5 to $10 to each month of benefits. Multiplied over decades, that single correction can mean hundreds every month. But here is Sue's story. Sue from Kansas logged into her account after hearing that same secret. She found 2 missing years from the early 1980s. When her husband switched employers, she brought W-2 forms to Social Security, and the office updated those records. A month later, they recalculated her survivor benefit upward by $93 per month. That is more than $1,000 a year for as long as she lives. You might think this only helps older records, but it also covers recent ones. In 2026, many widows will benefit from the reassessment of pandemic year earnings that were delayed or filed late. Checking the online record is the only way to see whether your spouse's 2020 or 2021 contributions were fully credited. Let's talk about what happens when the hidden account includes delayed retirement credits. These are automatic increases your spouse earned by waiting beyond full retirement age to claim benefits. Up to 8% growth per year applies until age 70. If your spouse passed after waiting but before receiving those increases, you can still claim them. Most people never ask and never receive them. All it takes is one sentence during your application interview tell the representative to confirm inclusion of delayed retirement credits in the survivor calculation. That one line unlocks the final portion of your spouse's work record. Another little-known feature is the retroactive window. Social Security can pay survivor benefits up to 6 months retroactively from the date you file, but only if you request it. Too many widows assume the agency will handle it automatically. They do not if your spouse passed several months ago. Those prior months are still claimable within that half-year window. Mention this clearly when applying online or at the office. This hidden account also holds something called Average Indexed Monthly Earnings, or AIM. It is the formula that converts wages into benefits. When you see your record online, make sure the highest 35-year average looks right. Social Security bases your payment on that average. If low earning years appear early in the report and higher earnings later do not seem adjusted, that may signal missing data. You can submit evidence of those later wages for recalculation. It is one of the few legal ways to increase a benefit after a spouse's death without changing law or policy, only correcting math. Now, let us connect this to the real application process. When you apply for survivor benefits online or in person, bring a written list of any discrepancies you found in your account check. Representatives usually appreciate that preparation and process your claim faster. They understand that organized applicants save everyone time. Many widows who bring this list walk out with accurate approvals in one appointment rather than weeks of letters back and forth. Beyond the hidden account itself, there is another overlooked pool of money, accumulated cost of living adjustments that were authorized but never delivered during long processing gaps. When your spouse's benefit was recalculated every January while alive, those COLAs sometimes apply again to the survivor payment. It rarely happens automatically. Always ask the representative to confirm that all prior cost of living credits through 2026 are included in the survivor computation. That single request can raise a payment by 2 or 3% instantly. This topic leads us to another overlooked right, the lump sum death payment. Many widows have heard of it, yet assume it arrives automatically. It does not. It is a one-time payment of $255 payable to the first eligible person who applies, usually the spouse living at home, even though the amount seems small. Filing for it triggers updates inside the system that formalize your status and ensure future survivor payments flow correctly. Think of it as flipping the official switch from spouse to survivor. Now, let us look at how the hidden account interacts with taxation and income limits. When you log into your account, you will see an annual benefit amount listed next to the term PAO, or primary insurance amount. That number includes every earnings year up to now, but the taxes you owe on it depend on your total income. In 2026, the combined income threshold for taxing benefits remains at $25,000 for single filers. Knowing this figure helps you plan whether to withdraw from savings or delay a pension until after you start Social Security so that you keep your benefit tax light. The real breakthrough here is perspective. For years, widows have been told to focus only on filing dates, but the internal record is where opportunity lives. It is the difference between accepting the government's first calculation and understanding how to verify it. Once you log in, it takes minutes to read through every row of data. You do not need a financial advisor to interpret the numbers. Each year should reflect roughly your spouse's taxable wages, multiplied by the index factor shown at the bottom. Any row with zeros or blanks before the current year deserves a question. Even if everything looks normal, check every January when the new cost of living adjustment posts. Seeing the dollar change proves that your survivor benefit is keeping pace with inflation. If it does not change by the published percentage, contact the office immediately. Early notices fix mistakes before they become permanent. Let us tie these discoveries together and walk step by step through the 2026 process for unlocking the hidden account and filing for benefits with confidence. Step 1. Gather identification and marriage paperwork along with the death certificate. Step 2. Create or sign in to your My Social Security account and read both earnings histories. Step 3. Print the pages for your records. Step 4. Highlight any missing years, zeros, or lower amounts than expected. Step 5. Write a short note listing these details to bring or upload with your survivor application. Step 6. When you reach the question about prior benefits or delayed credits, check yes and specify that your spouse postponed their claim if applicable. Step 7. Before submitting, confirm direct deposit information exactly. Small typing errors cause most payment delays. If technology feels intimidating, remember you can call or visit your local Social Security office, where a representative fills out the same digital form for you. After submitting, mark the date on a calendar and give the agency about 4 weeks before checking status. Most cases resolve in that time. If your first check arrives and appears smaller than expected, do not assume it is final. The retroactive adjustment for the hidden account often posts 1 cycle later. Check the second payment before calling. If it is still lower than your calculations, contact the same office where you applied and request a recomputation review. It costs nothing and can correct underpayments within 60 days. Now, let us pause for a moment to appreciate what you have learned. You started this video thinking Social Security was a sealed system, impossible to understand. You now know there is a second layer, a personal data file built from every paycheck your spouse ever earned, accessible by you, and capable of uncovering missing value. That is more than information, it is empowerment. The ripple effect of this awareness is enormous. Once you open your account and verify accuracy, you naturally share it with friends or family members. Within weeks, you become the person who saved someone else from losing money. Multiply that across neighborhoods, churches, and communities, and the collective difference for widows could reach millions. This is why calling it a secret account is not exaggeration. It has existed all along, but only the people who log in find it. The rest accept whatever figure appears on their letters and never ask why. You now know why and how to see for yourself. Remember to repeat this check each year. Tax brackets shift, cost of living adjustments expand, and wage records update. What you review in 2026 will look different in 2027 and again in 2028 as inflation and national wages change. Treat your Social Security account like your most valuable financial document, because that is exactly what it is. If you ever feel lost again, return to simplicity. Social Security is numbers multiplied by time. Your spouse contributed those numbers every payday. The system now exists to give them back to you slowly with interest. Your job is simply to ensure the math is correct. Knowledge of this hidden record might feel like a small discovery, but in a program handling trillions of dollars, small discoveries pay big. The widows who check their accounts every year are the ones who gain extra stability without changing a single law. They participate fully in a system built for them. So before this day ends, open your computer or pick up the phone and take the first step. Create your My Social Security account, explore the numbers, make notes, and feel ownership return. That action transforms worry into wisdom. When you see that first accurate survivor deposit land in your account, remember what it represents. It is proof that knowledge always multiplies value. It is confirmation that trust combined with understanding is stronger than any mystery form or confusing letter. You have now uncovered the Social Security secret that most widows will never hear. The one that keeps their rightful money out of reach simply because no one teaches them how to look. But you know, and once you know, you never forget.